Hey folks, Bob Reese here with the Guides Forecast, giving you a fishing report for Saturday, the 9th of August. I did another ocean day today, and like many guides, another limit. The ocean has never failed me all season for a limit of salmon. Sometimes you got to work a little bit harder for them. Today we limited at 10:30. I just had 4 guys, so we got 2 Chinook and 8 coho, and the ocean's not going to be a great option for the next several days because of wind weather, but I'm going to detail some pretty cool information that I picked up on today in the ocean that provided some very high quality coho and a couple Chinooks. Chinooks weren't big, but when the ocean becomes fishable again, we'll detail that in the subscriber section of the Guides Forecast. But we fished to the north. We've been fishing south last couple days. If you've been watching the YouTube videos, in the middle of the channel yesterday, but between a strong outgoing tide and the fact the fish were just gone off the south side, we had to go north again, pretty far north, against a bit of a northwest wind. So it wasn't terrible. Again, as is commonly the case, the further north you get and away from the river mouth, the less sloppy water you're encountering. So it was pretty nice up to the north there off the condos. There were some boats that fished in the shallows. Herman Fleshman got a real nice Chinook in the beach there, about 30 foot of water. Professional fishing guide Herman Fleshman, good fisherman. He got a nice Chinook inshore, and I was in deeper water, about 100 foot. There was a pack of boats out there. It was it was not easy fishing. It wasn't slam dunk, but we just picked away at them and got our fish, and then kept a couple spots open on our tag to fish in the shallow again, and fished in front of the lighthouse in hopes of getting a larger Chinook, which didn't come to fruition, but we did catch 2 other nice coho salmon. So I know we caught 2 of the 8 coho that we harvested were, they were 9 or 10 pound fish authentically. To people that don't weigh a lot of fish, I'm sure they would have called them 12 pounders. So great grade of fish. We've been talking about that the whole season. Today was no exception. Actually, probably the biggest coho that I've caught this year to date. So I'm running spinner chunk baits a little bit more in the ocean now. I'll certainly run them in the river tomorrow. As I mentioned, I think the wind waves will keep us off of the ocean for the next couple of days. There is a slight chance that we could get out and fish the ocean before the wind kicks up in the afternoon tomorrow, even though it's forecast to be fairly strong from sun up there. That wind forecast isn't always accurate. So the bar was not restricted this morning. That was a nice surprise. That has a lot to do with the swell height, and the swell height was not big today, hasn't been big all week, isn't supposed to be all that big tomorrow, but the wind waves are supposed to be big, and that's what really makes an uncomfortable boat ride if you have a 4 to 5 foot wind chop, which is what the forecast is for tomorrow. So be aware, the ocean may not be an option tomorrow. That'll mean river fishing. We'll have max ebb at daybreak, so those fishermen that start at daybreak, you might catch a fish over by the Desdemona light marker. There's fish in there for sure, but they don't seem to be of the biting variety. I'm going to be waiting until, I think tomorrow's start time is going to be 9 o'clock in the morning for me. Catch low slack either on the Oregon side or the Washington side, lower down in the estuary. Chinook wing jetties down, or buoy 14 to buoy 10. Both sides should produce some Chinook opportunities on the last part of outgoing tide, and there were good Chinook and coho opportunities. Chinook opportunities in the deep water on the Chinook side and the first part of the incoming tide, and some coho after the first rip came through at the buoy 10 line were caught today as well. So I attribute those coho really aren't making their spawning run this early in the season. But as I mentioned more than once before, they basically get vacuumed into the estuary on these strong flood tides. And not that it's a strong high tide, a big high tide, but it is a low minus tide in the morning, and so the exchange, even on a medium incoming tide, is a pretty strong incoming tide. So a lot of fish are getting vacuumed in from the adjacent ocean areas and across the buoy 10 line for people to take advantage of. So you know, I don't have a whole lot of information about what happens at the high tide above the bridge there. A lot of folks are kind of calling it quits before then. The northwest wind gets a little grippy. Is that a word? In the afternoon, you can, of course, hide against the shelter of the cape there at Megler, which is the Washington side of the Estuary Megler Bridge, and fish in some pretty calm waters, being in the lee of the northwest wind above the bridge on the Washington side. So I just don't know a lot of people that are taking advantage of that opportunity. So that's a bit of a wild card. I'll know more as I spend more time in the river to see what's the possibilities. I do know people are doing some hover fishing at the bridge and in front of Hammond, at the bridge on both sides of the river, but I know there's already been history of folks catching Chinook hover fishing on the Washington side at the bridge. So it's go time. I mean, this is when the Chinook are going to start peaking in the river, and we're going to have some good activity. The spinner chunk baits are going to be working well in the river. Spin fish are going to work well. The mini brads, super baits are working well. So get them fishing, get them deep, keep them spinning. Make sure you're seaweed and jellyfish free. Had some jellyfish in the ocean today. I don't know how jellyfish is in the river, but certainly when the tide's pushing in and the jellies are just offshore, there's got to be some coming across the buoy 10 line into the river. So you don't want your gear out there very long when it's got jellyfish on it. The salmon will not bite your gear, particularly where your hooks and your lure are, if there's jellyfish tentacles on it. So get rid of that. Stay safe. Good luck out there. Thanks for being subscribers to the Guides Forecast.